Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Pine Pass, part 33. And today we are going to address the elephant in the room. That is my lack of detailing. I know it's a very bad habit of mine. I will build a new area of the town, and I lose track of time, and the videos run way too long, and then I don't have time to detail. And then I always say, well, I'll take care of it in a live stream. And then, well, the live streams never happen, mainly because lately my schedule has been really weird. And I just don't have like a reliable time that I know I'm going to be able to live stream anymore. That should change in the nearish future, but for now, it's still kind of, I live stream when I can, and that's about it. That was some thunder snow. I don't know, scary. So we wind up in a situation where the town winds up not detailed, and I'm sorry. So we are just going to detail today. I guess you already knew that by the title. I'm having some weird lag. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now that I haven't had before. I mean, I've had it before, but not recently. I know it. Last video I probably talked about it, but since then I've upgraded my hardware. On Prime Day I picked up a new motherboard so that I could switch from DDR4 RAM. I have an i9 12900K. And I'm not like trying to flex or anything by saying that. It's just what I have. And it can use DDR4 or DDR5. And I had DDR4 because at the time that I bought it, DDR5 was still really pricey and also wasn't quite ready for prime time yet. The speeds just weren't quite there. And it just made more sense to go with DDR4 at that time. But since then, really? Is that already Junipers? Must already be Junipers. Since then, the cost has come down, the performance has come up. So on Prime Day, I was able to pick up a new motherboard and DDR5 RAM that is much faster, and I got a lot more. I went from 32 gigs to 64, which has been very, very nice. And it's much faster. I had 2400 megahertz, and now I have 6000 megahertz, which is kind of freaking awesome. And at the same time, I also finally picked up a new video card. I wasn't running the slouch of a video card. I had a 3080 Ti, which is decent, but I was able to pick up a 4080 for the low price of $970, which is still too much for a video card, but well below what they've been selling at. In fact, it didn't even stay at that price very long. The morning of Prime Day, I couldn't sleep. I guess maybe I was excited to buy Prime parts on Prime Day because I knew I was going to be shopping for parts. I just didn't know what I was going to get. And I woke up and the 3080 or 4080 that I've had my eye on was discounted by about $100. And I'm like, ooh, that's tempting. But a mouse and a keyboard was really what I was thinking I was going to buy. We're going to forest this up right here and make kind of a nice secluded area for this section of the park. It's really heavy on the trees here. And so I started, looking at, and I also knew I was going to upgrade my RAM. Because I actually had, it wasn't just I'm going to do this because I can. I did it because I had to. The RAM I had started having errors. I was blue screening every couple days. Ran MemTest 86, and sure enough, had faulty RAM. Gonna RMA that RAM and either hold on to that motherboard and RAM or sell it. I haven't quite decided yet which I'm gonna do. But so I mean, it was kind of a necessity to to get the new RAM, which required a new motherboard to switch to DDR5. I know I'm rambling about computer parts. It's because I'm detailing, and there's not a lot to talk about when I'm placing trees. This is footage that most people just kind of speed up, but we may. But for now, I'm just gonna we're just gonna hang out for a while, and we're gonna talk, and it'll be awesome. And I want to leave some open spaces for people to like play ball or build a snowman or things like that. But I also want to create a sense of seclusion in this park. But anyway, so yeah, I was up that morning to look at a keyboard and mouse and definitely get a new motherboard and RAM. And I just got turned around. There we go. So I found my motherboard, found my RAM. I had a few shortlisted that I was looking at, found the best deal, added it to my cart, and then started shopping for keyboard and mice. I actually found them not on Amazon, but through a different site. And I went back to Amazon to make my purchase of the motherboard and the RAM, and it was like, hey, this 4080 you've been looking at, and now it was $180 cheaper. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I just kind of kept an eye on it, and I kept refreshing the page every now and then, and it wound up going down from its price of $1,200 to $1,300. It's been fluctuating down to $970 something, I think is what I paid. $970, $990, $980 something. But definitely much, much cheaper than it's been selling for. And so I snapped it up. It was just... I've been wanting it, mainly because I could do live streams on YouTube and with the AV1 encoder, which I won't bore you with the details of what that is, but essentially it allows me to live stream at just as good of a resolution as I have been, at a lower bit rate, at a much lower bit rate, which means people viewing don't need as strong of a download connection. So people on Wi-Fi who maybe live with a lot of people who are hogging that Wi-Fi, they will be able to watch my stream in higher quality without as fast of a download speed. So it's a good thing. Also means it'll create smaller file sizes for those live streams. Sadly, Twitch doesn't support it yet, nor does Adobe, which is what I edit in. So I still have to use the old school stuff to record and all that. I was really hoping to sneak some little junipers in here, but I don't think it's going to work because of the way I overlapped that. I could turn Anarchy on, though, and do it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's turn Anarchy on. Let's go with the width of those. So, yeah, I have new hardware is kind of the moral of that story. I know I never finished it, but, and it's nice. It's nice to have. Which one of these do I need? Tree snapping? No. This? That one. I'm going to turn that right back off because trees will start popping up under the roads if I don't turn all that back off. Do I like that? I think I like that. I think it looks good. And I think I kind of want to replicate that in behind here. It's a little tricky to do. I could do fences through here, but I don't know. I don't like when I get down in first person view. I think the fences are too tall. I know they're meant to be, mimic privacy fences, but I mean, they're way, way tall. So we're just going to do our best to add to the general flammability of this area and put in a bunch of junipers in there. And I like it. And apparently all of the residents like it too. I'm not going to do that here because I want to leave this open. I know there's a walking path there, and yeah, people can see in, but the price you pay for a nice view of not only the city, but the river. So I think we'll just leave that as is. I don't know why I picked this park to start with, by the way. I just kind of picked an arbitrary point and went with it. But it just, I don't know, it felt right. We're going to work our way over to the university is what I'm trying to, not university, trade school. That's what I'm trying to do here. I don't care if there's not a couple there. I can live with that. I did see a section back over here, though. Yeah. That I want to bring in this row like that. I don't think I need to do the sides. I think it's fine as is. And I like that there's a bit of space around the statue. It doesn't feel crowded. It doesn't feel cut off. So that works. And I don't think that we necessarily need detailing in every little nook and cranny. I see, you know, a lot of creators that take that approach. That's fine. If that's, you know, their thing, then go for it. I just think it can be overdone. And I don't want to overdo it. I'm kind of thinking I don't like that because there's windows there. They can still see out of those windows. Yeah, it's fine. Those are awful tall for there. Yeah, I'm not a fan. They felt a little too tall. One of the problems with this winter map is there's not a lot that I can detail with. Because a lot of the plants just show up as dead because, you know, it's frozen outside right now. And the ones that don't show up as dead are just white. You know, they just blend in and you can't really tell anything was done. So because of that, you're really limited in what you can do. Like the lindens, I mean, yeah, they look great. And I think they work as street trees. But just individual, you don't really see them until you get like right down here. And even then, they just blend into the background. And that's true for a lot of these. They don't do much. And besides, an oak tree isn't going to have leaves in the wintertime. So kind of pointless to do that. So you're stuck with a lot of pine trees and other evergreens. So that's why I tend to go to the juniper a lot, because it would be a natural thing to have in there. We can do some Norway spruce. Where's that one really big tall one? Gosh, where is it? I know there's... Is it this? No, it's the redwood. Isn't there like just a massively tall vanilla evergreen? I mean, there's that's thick. And there's these winter conifers. They're big, but I really thought there was another one. Am I just overlooking it? Ah, yeah, the boreal pine. Let's get some of those in here. I know we're mixing species that would never occur in the same region, but whatever. I'm just going to create a nice little... yeah, I like that. Among the high-rises that we've got these big old trees. I like that. I think that looks kind of cool. We'll get one right there. Yeah. We are blocking a few views, but, I mean, let's face it. Their view is onto the back of a hotel, of a... What are you? A Might Watch. What is that even? What is... I don't know. What's a Might Watch? But I kind of like having the height on the trees back here by some taller buildings. Plus there's variations on it, so not all of them are super duper tall. And that works. We could probably get away with a path back here if I was very, very careful, but I kind of like the idea of trees instead. I'm trying to stay away from the roads. There, does that really add all that much here? I see that fire over there. Yeah, I think it does add a little bit to this downtownish area. I think in some places, though, we want to stick with the smaller ones and the... why can't I select that? There we go. And it didn't select the right thing. Or did it? What do we have here? Yeah, I did not select the right thing. The, why can't I think of the word that I was just using the tree on juniper? That's a lot of pedestrians. You gotta admire these folks being out here in the cold, you know? So, let's talk future of Pine Pass. This is episode 33, which, if I'm not mistaken, will go live on March. March? Where did that come from? August 8th. I'm recording on July 21st. And I looked at it earlier with Skylines coming out on the October 24th, I think it is. That means we can get this series up to episode 43 before City Skylines 2 comes out. And I want to have both this and Broston County done. I don't want to be continuing any City Skylines 1 builds, except for maybe, you know, like 10 years or 8 years from now and be like, let's look back on City Skylines, you know, that type of thing. Let's see how, you know, where City Skylines 2 went terribly wrong. No, it won't. I have every confidence it's going to be fantastic. But I scared you for a minute, didn't I? You're like, oh no, he knows something. No, I don't. I've reached out to Colossal Order several times saying, hey, I'd love to be one of those content creator people that you share early access stuff with, and maybe get me in a little bit earlier to some stuff so I could actually get my head wrapped around it and start making videos and have them ready on an embargo date. But I've never heard back from them. Never, ever, ever, ever. So if you know anyone at Colossal Order, maybe drop my name, let them know, hey, support the small content creators too. It was the small content creators that kind of got the game where it wound up. Because, I mean, yeah, I know like NerdCube early on played it, but it had been out a few years. It was a lot of small-time content creators that really gave the game a lot of exposure in the early days. So, you know, they need to remember us and help us out. Let us, you know, we don't have the hundreds of thousands of viewers and views, but we still help sell the game. So, show us some love, Colossal Order, please. You know, I think that's plenty right there. I don't want to, like, that's the entrance, but I also don't want to just, like, crowd this with just a massive bunch of trees right here. What I might do, though, since this is the back of the elder care facility, is just run a fence here. I think that would be good, and I kind of would like to do the suburban fence. Let's turn all of our snap 2s off and bring that right here. It will block their views a bit. Also turn anarchy off. But I don't think too terribly bad. I think it makes it feel like they have a bit of their own campus, even though they're right here in the middle of offices. But it feels a little bit better, I think. So I'm here for it. Let's redo these trees by the high school. Looks like I kind of just dropped some trees and called it a day. Here, I think we can get away with some bushes. These are the tiny bush. Actually, it doesn't look too terribly bad. I thought I could get that. Did I not click that? Why is it? Just the item width. I thought that would do a thing when I did that. Well, if it won't, let's see if I can just run a couple rows of them. Yeah, that works. I guess they do kind of look terrible. I thought that they looked better than that. So yeah, never mind. Let's delete those. I will definitely be editing that out. It made it a horrible noise. Yikes. Maybe that was the wild hedge that I had better luck with in the snow. Yeah, that's it. There we go. I just want to create like a little border here. I went a little too far on that one. There we go. And then line it with some of the smaller trees here. Oh, that is not small, Brandon. Where is it? It is this one over here, I believe. Just trying to keep an eye on our time. We're at like 18, 19 minutes. We're good. Yeah, these will work. I don't want them too dense. I just want to kind of fill this area with a little bit. Looking good. Yep, looks much better. I do wish I was doing this during a live stream, though. I think that is just more conducive to detailing, because then I can hang out and chat, and you guys can give me ideas in real time. Right now, you're shouting at your screen, you missed a spot, and I can't do a thing about it. Because, you know, not real time. In case you didn't know. You know, YouTube's not real time. Let's just go with a line of So you're kind of keeping, you know, some consistency to the different areas of town, which is why I do keep falling back on kind of some of the same ideas. It's not laziness. Shut up, it's not. It's just that I want to have some good consistency. What? Whoa, hello, Quebec. And that did a ton for this park, just doing that. Wow. I am truly surprised by what a difference just that little bit made. You guys need to stop letting me get away with not detailing. Like, you just need to yell at me in the comments. Brandon, you didn't detail again. And you will shame me into making sure that I remember to leave enough time in videos to do detailing. Probably not. Let's be honest, I'll still forget. But it's a nice thought. Let's give the playground just a little screening here. Not on the sides. You don't want to make it, you know, like a predator's haven, you know, by making it just enclosed. I know my mind went there. I'm a dark person, so, and we're gonna do the same here. And then we'll kind of do the same, like right here at an angle, and bring those right around. Make that feel like its own little thing. And that way, as you walk through, there's actually like a bit of a reveal of the different parts of the park. Yeah, I dig it. And I think that's enough. Again, you would want a place for people to be able to bring their dog, you know, and walk them around, or, you know, throw a ball back and forth, or build a snowman, or whatever. I wish in wintertime they built snowman. How cool would that be in City Skylines 2? I know in a lot of the previews we've seen snowman, but how cool would it be if, like, whoa, what was that shadow? I don't know, maybe I'm seeing things, it's late. But it would be really cool if there were actually things happening and people out building stuff. So over here, I think I might want to do fences. We'll have to see how it looks. And there are a lot of pedestrians. I'm truly surprised by the number of pedestrians. That's another thing I'm hoping to see in City Skylines 2 is an actual, like, response to the weather. Yeah, I remember and I know 2 totally different games, but in GTA 4, so if I just do, like, in between each house, I don't need to do behind them. I just need to do between them. I think this will make a world of difference. But in GTA 4, people would pull out umbrellas. I think it was GTA 4. And just try to shield themselves from the rain if they didn't have an umbrella. I think it'd be cool if in City Skylines, when it was raining, we would see windshield wipers going. We would see people grab umbrellas, see people waiting under awnings, less people walking, less people at playgrounds and all that. It would be a nice little touch if the citizens actually responded to the weather. 'Cause, I mean, let's face it. I know they're all bundled up in winter clothes, but that's a lot of people for it being 3 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. It's a lot of people. They're walking around. Yeah, I'm liking these fences, and we'll do one here on this side. I think that's just enough of a little touch. I don't want to do, like, a lot of trees over here, so I don't want to ruin their view, their ocean view, or giant lake view. I haven't quite decided if this is a lake or an ocean. I think we're just going to say that my 2 cities are on a west coast or an east coast. It doesn't really matter. But are on a coast and they share an ocean, and that kind of like goes out this way, and then somewhere way down here is Broston County. And everything else I've ever built in City Skylines. But we're not going to worry about those cities. I think the fence alone is enough. It adds just enough of a bit of detail to it that I'm fine with it. By the way, I had to add an extra connection here to off camera, as they say. I hate saying the word off camera because this isn't a camera. This is OBS. There were just a few too many people going up on the highway and clogging it up. There's not a lot of traffic here because I'm pretty sure that I banned delivery trucks, but it did make a significant difference. Like, this was just backed up both directions. Adding this one connection, despite the fact that there's not a lot of cars going over it, relieved traffic. I guess they're just walking instead. There is mass transit over there. But because of that, I had to add this funky thing here. I'm not really proud of it, but there's what it's for. It is a bus turnaround so that the bus that services this neighborhood doesn't have to come all the way down here and back. Yeah, I know I could have put a bus between the two, but I didn't want to. But now that I think about it, that's probably not a bad idea. But it's not that far of a walk. Yeah, they'll walk that far. Besides, we're not here for transit. We're here for fences. Lots and lots and lots of fences. At least right now, that's what we're doing is fences. We will get on to more things in a minute. So let me finish these fences up real quick, and then we will move on to something else. So you probably saw there that I just deleted some fences right after I got done placing them. That is because I think on this side over here with the highway being behind there, there's a good argument to be made to run a fence behind everything. And then connect to that. On this side, I don't want to, again, because I want to have the exposure to, or the views out there. So what I'm going to do is hiccup real quick. And then open up our parallel road tool, or our parallel mode. That's so much easier to say than parallel road tool. And we're just going to come down to here, and then I'll manually extend it. And then I want to bring that to the other side. And then I just want to clear our retirement community here. Bring that all the way back to about there is fine. Let's just look and see what that did down here. That's fine. So this be some fairly large backyards, and I'm good with that. So let's just extend this out a little bit. Let's turn on just angle. Bring this. Can I really get away with bringing that right under the fence? Lovely. And then we will go back into parallel mode and parallel this bit to just here. This one might be a little trickier, actually. Let's just go to here instead. Simply because we've got this curve that dips in, and I think I might have trouble getting that in there. And I'm not going to make these exact. I thought I hit. I guess it was already on that side. I'm not going to worry about these being the exact same distance apart. I am, however, going to worry about it not hitting that. So that's fine, and then we can have it just kind of meander up to there. Like that. That works for me. And then we'll pick it back up here. And this one is small enough. We can just draw it in by hand. And then that also gives us a nice point to snap onto on all of these and just bring them straight down. So now I'm going to come back through and get these fences in. And then we'll move on with some more fencing elsewhere on the map. And we accidentally cut one of the houses short, but oh well, they'll be fine. They got a nice big lot out of it. I don't even know where that one went. They're like, you tore their house down, and they'll be fine. Actually, over here, I don't think we need them. We're not close to the highway, and we're up on this hill. I think what I'd rather do here is just to vary it up so that we're not just running a bunch of fences everywhere, is just do like a line of trees, just enough to mark the property lines, and that's it. I don't want to go again any farther out than that because I don't want to start destroying people's view corridors to the ocean, because I think this would probably be some rather desirable real estate because of the views. So let's not detract from those. Let's enhance them with a bit of nature. I think that's a good call. I don't know, what is that, a fountain? A statue? What are you? Yeah, Sculpture Park. That's what a really weird place for an Ice Sculpture Park. But I'm sure at the time I placed it there, I thought, hey, this is a phenomenal idea. Oh, man. And then I just want to do the same on this side. We've already got some of them fairly separate, but I'm just going to go through where we don't and kind of give us a bit of separation back here. This side, not as important to wind up blocking sight lines because we're just back here in a corner. I wonder, can I get a path through here? So I would expect, I don't know, where I lived in Missouri, areas like this had little walking trails in behind the different neighborhoods, and it was really cool. So I am going to do that. I know this brings this right out by somebody's side window, but oh well, they'll get over it. I'm just gonna run a path right back here and then right back around, and then we'll make a couple connections to it. And we'll make a connection right here. And I'd like to get one on this side of the street. It is unfortunately going to be in the end of the house. And I'm just going to wholesale eliminate this one, just to leave some space there. And I'd really like to get it to come back through here. I don't think it's going to happen, though. But I still like that better. What happened here? You're kind of not pretty. Huh. If I make this a bend? No, a custom? No matter what, it just looks ugly. Oh, that would be a good reason why. Let's untwist that. I had it. There we go. It's weird that that twisted up like that. Cool. And then we can just come back in here with more of the trees and just finish filling this out in between the property line. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll take a look at what we want to tackle next. Yeah, I think that looks tons better. We have a lot of tree cover over here. Would block a ton of the sound from this highway that's not really all that far away. And just make this area feel kind of like a special place to be. So I like that. This looks, I think, a million times better. We're not going to do anything more in this area. Like I said, we've got all of these spaces that could do it, but not really. We could get away with some trees back here, I suppose. But again, we're kind of dealing with the trees right up against the path. I could try to squeeze some junipers in here. But this is curved, so I'm going to have to do these all by hand. So yeah, I'll come through on these paths and throw in some junipers, and then we'll look and see how that looks. So I'm much happier with Harris Shores and Autumn Heights now, and that's what I wanted to get started with. I was hoping to get over here to the college. Over here, I don't know that we really need a whole lot back in the neighborhoods, but up along the streets, we definitely need a lot of work. And then out into over this area, I don't think you would really have a lot of detailing. I think we would probably just, if anything, just see more trees and backyards, and that's about it. Which that should be easy enough to do. Just kind of like copy a big bunch of them and just kind of spam the area until we get trees in people's yards, which isn't working as well as I thought it was going to. But you would think this area would be fairly densely covered, just where it is off this highway. That would be kind of its appeal. It's a little better. It's going to need some more acute attention. Same over here, and same with this little neighborhood. And then down here, I think we're looking pretty good. We did our detailing on the campus in a lost episode, unfortunately. It just kind of deaded. But it does look good. We got a nice retaining wall back here because of the elevation change, so that our school education is just kind of in its own little hole here, and the campus itself looking pretty nice. It's basic. I mean, it's just, you know, trees in a line, but it works. And then here, everything is so dense that there's very few areas to really worry about that doesn't already have a lot of trees. Even over here in our residential, God, it's all the same house over and over again. We may have to break up those block sizes. We will revisit that in a live stream. I am hoping to live stream it. And then that also leaves over here in the main city. Needs a lot of work. Though I did start on some of it. One night when I couldn't sleep, I just kind of came over here and worked on this area a little bit. So a couple people have pointed out to me that this asset has palm trees. And I was going to bob them out, but I kind of like the frozen palm trees. I don't know why. I just kind of do. I know they would never grow in this climate. But sometimes developers do really, really weird things. So I'm going to leave them just for their quirkiness. And that's it. Nothing else. Just the quirk factor of them. I think they're kind of cool because of that. So yeah, we've definitely got more detailing to do down in here. I didn't quite get back to this area yet. But before we wrap up today, I do want to do one thing. I saw this during, right before I started recording. And I think we could come in here with these. Oh, it won't go because of the zoning. Okay. What about even these won't go because of the way the zoning is? I was kind of hoping that we would have something that would connect here and here, but would still overlap. But we don't, and that's because we turned zoning off on this road. I could turn it back on just to be able to place something. I just don't want to actually build anything there. Though I guess offices would be safe, and we do have some office demand. Yeah, I suppose we could do some offices. But it's not my goal. Ugh, that's ugly. Let's see. That's the big one. Where's the small one's still a little too big. That one fits. I don't know. Is that out of place there? I don't. Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? That's sad. This building is not going to stay here, by the way. Neither is the one next to it. Those are going to go away. I want something here. Maybe we'll just wind up just doing some landscaping and make that area look like a place. Or maybe we'll do like a pedestrian bridge over or something like that. I do want to bump this friend over here because it just kind of bothers me that it's off center. But that's been a nice little bit. You guys got treated to a lot of music, which I guess before I wrap up, somebody asked me why I do two different types of music, one for Broston County, one for Pine Pass. I just think Pine Pass, acoustic guitar, snowy environment, it just feels right to me. Oh, I also detailed this. Did I do this in the video? I don't know. It's been months since I've done that. 94 days. Nice. But I just think the acoustic guitar fits with the snowy vibe. And the other music I like just because it's good generic YouTube music. So yeah, we've definitely got a lot of detailing left to do. Hopefully we will get to it. But I don't want to do too many of these videos since we've only got like 10 videos in the series left. I want to make sure that we get to building things and getting the city to a nice conclusion. But that'll all come in the future. And until then, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.